I'll say this. I still think that he stays. I would be really surprised if he did not stay in Edmonton, but I'm also really surprised that he does not have a deal right now.
Today is September 3rd in the United States and Canada. What, boys, is the significance of September 3rd? It is an important date in hockey history.
September 3rd?
Yes.
I don't know. Tell me.
On September 3rd, 2025, Leon Draisaitl signed an 8-year, $114 million contract. 2024. Leon Draisaitl signed an 8-year, $114 million contract to stay with the Edmonton Oilers, and that ended the questions as to whether Edmonton would keep their star player. We are now 1 year later, September 3rd, the United States and Canada, 2025. And here is the latest with Connor McDavid. There was an orientation camp last week for Team Canada where McDavid said that they are going through it slowly and that he, quote, has every intention to win in Edmonton. That, God bless Connor McDavid, is a whole lot of nothing because, of course, his intention is to win in Edmonton. He just didn't really say when. Add to that yesterday, Frank Saravalli on the Insider's Notebook on Bleacher Report, which I must tell folks is excellent. I did a little texting with Frank last night just because I wanted to pay him a compliment on how good this video is. It is a hyper-concentrated 20 to 30-minute thing that is not... It's somewhat similar to 32 Thoughts, but it is more of straight soppity. Cutting right to, you have questions, here are answers. Fans participated in it. Frank did not tell me to say all this, but I am telling you, check it out. It is a great weekly video. On yesterday's edition of it, Frank said, quote, my understanding would be that I don't think we're going to see Connor McDavid sign a contract extension before the opening of training camp around September 15th. Last week we discussed this and set September 12th as the date of where you start to maybe worry because camp's going to start, what's going to happen. Frank now saying, I don't expect him to do it, which I'd say, okay, that gets me to worry time.
I'm still staying day one of the NHL season, ahead of game one. If he doesn't have a contract heading into game one, that's when you can officially chalk me down for worried.
Yes, but it introduces a lot of things because we goof around, we go all over the place, we bring up hypotheticals, even if they're unrealistic. A lot of unrealistic talks get more realistic with each passing day. If it gets to training camp and he's not signed, if it gets to a week into camp and he's not signed, if it definitely gets to a walk year, like I'd have to check. I definitely don't remember Sidney Crosby ever going into a walk year. I think like this would be unprecedented. David Pastrnak went into a walk year, but David Pastrnak is not Connor McDavid. Alex Ovechkin is going into a walk year, but Alex Ovechkin is old.
He's going to walk.
Yeah, like he might walk.
Probably going to get a plane.
Or he might need to be
back to Russia.
Or he might need to be reminded, like, hey, you don't have a contract. And then he'd be like, oh, shit, my bad. Connor McDavid knows what he's doing. He could be going into the last year of his deal unsigned. And any talk that we do of any sort of hypothetical, like what should Edmonton do? What could happen? What would he be worth sort of thing? As I said, it becomes a little more realistic or at least logical. The issue is if the Oilers don't have Connor McDavid signed going into the last year of his contract, this is such a unique situation in that I honestly don't know if anything is worth 1 year of 28-year-old Connor McDavid. Like, say a team came to him in more than...
Oh, you're saying like...
Say a team was like, hey, this looks uncertain for you. We're going to give you everything. It's not worth it. There are 3 players I can think of who might be worth being a centerpiece of a trade for Connor McDavid, and they're on 2 teams. One of which is
Oilers.
Connor McDavid's team.
Yeah.
Like... And the Avalanche aren't trading Cale Makar or Nathan McKinnon because they already fucking have their guys.
I mean, I wouldn't say that they wouldn't trade one of those guys for Connor McDavid if they had the opportunity.
I mean, I would trade Cale Makar.
I would trade anybody for Connor McDavid.
But then the Oilers have to say, all right, well, then what picks are you? I thought when I brought this up, you'd be like, fuck off. But you're like, I'm starting to see wheels turning.
No, I mean, I think that if there's a team in the entire National Hockey League that says we're not trading this guy for Connor McDavid, they're fucking idiots.
I know, but I think that more realistically, there's only, like I said, 3 guys who I think are logical centerpieces. I was even thinking, I was like, what if the Sharks said Celebrity, Smith, Misa, Dickinson?
No.
Like the Oilers are like,
no, and like
sorry.
Here's the bigger problem is I don't see from Edmonton's perspective, it's not even like the trade package that you're going to say, this isn't equal value to Connor McDavid. Obviously, it's not the trade package that you're getting back in return. It's the fact that you traded Connor McDavid. I think that if you're heading into the season and you have a walk year of Connor McDavid, you take every single opportunity to keep Connor McDavid on your team for 3 years, 8 years, or I guess it has to be 7 years. You do that to the last second that you can.
Absolutely.
And especially for a team that's competing for a Stanley Cup, you have to keep him on the roster. Here's where maybe you trade him if you feel like you're not getting a deal done before the free agency. You can trade his rights, his expiring rights, to give a team a 2-week exclusive window or whatever it is in June. Maybe that's when you trade him. But if you're the Oilers, under no circumstances would you ever trade Connor McDavid. I would be very worried as an Oilers fan if you head into game 1 and he does not have a contract because it seems like something really went wrong there because it feels like he wants to stay. Obviously, Leon's there. Obviously, the Oilers want to keep him. Why did you not get a deal done when you had all summer to work on it?
Yeah, and a lot of people have said this, but his best option is the Oilers because I don't think he can go to the Avalanche and play with those other guys I mentioned, and they don't have the young players that he'd probably like them to have. I think he'd rather their goaltending be better, but this weight has to just be about, do I want, I think 8 years is out the window. I would love if it's 8 years, but maybe he's deciding between 4 and 5, or God forbid he's deciding between
3 and 4,
3 or 4, or
3 and
1
4.
and 2.
I saw Ryan Rishaug said he believes that it's going to be 3 to 4. I think.
Yeah, that seems to be where the smoke is, but
makes a lot of sense.
With Draisaitl, I feel like there wasn't a lot of. There was a look, they're going to sign him. It's going to be long. There's going to be that. But from all of that, and I love all of our reporter friends, I got a little bit of I feel like no one's really talking to you, though. I feel like it makes sense that that's going to happen. So that's going to happen. I don't seem to be getting the sense that McDavid or who's his agent, Judd Moldaver, is letting much out. I don't think the average person, maybe outside of Bob, who we should have on the show, has a real sense of what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're trying to make a logical conclusion, I feel like 3 or 4 years makes the most sense, with where the cap is and where the Oilers are and whether or not they'll be able to get it done in the next couple of years. I feel like that makes a lot of sense to me. But yeah, I also would not be shocked if Connor McDavid's camp was extremely tight-lipped as to what's going on there.
Kirk Avery says, I hope it gets done soon because I don't want to hear about it all season. Here's the thing, my friend. I don't think Connor McDavid wants to hear about it all season. And, man, I guess the most recent example of it might be Tavares, but we didn't think Tavares was really leaving. The biggest one, remember...
the biggest one recently was Pastrnak, because when Pastrnak was in his walk year and scoring every game, I was, as a Bruins fan, I couldn't enjoy any of those goals. I was sign him right now.
Yeah.
He's driving up the price every single day.
The most fascinating one for me, and I forget what year it was, so apologies. It was probably 2013, 14, 15, somewhere in that range, Stamkos. when the relationship was starting to really look rocky, and it was like, oh damn, he actually might leave, and we have to take this seriously. It's look, good players hit free agency all the time. Artemi Panarin, Bob, Johnny Gaudreau, like this does happen, but it doesn't happen with Connor McDavid. It doesn't. And I guess like this YouTube video would be called "Why We Can't Talk About a Connor McDavid Trade" after we talked about a Connor McDavid trade. There's just nothing that would make it worth not having him for this season when you are a Stanley Cup contender. Think of what the Bruins that Pastrnak year did. They were so much better than everybody, and they still mortgaged their entire future just to get a couple more pieces, just to get Tyler Bertuzzi, just to get Dmitry Orlov, just to get whoever the fuck else they got. Like when you're that close to winning the cup, you push all your chips in. And in this case, pushing all your chips in is keeping Connor McDavid every day you can keep him. And I still don't think he's going to leave Leon Draisaitl.
I was going to say, like,
it's impractical.
Where are you at? So you still on like the not worried section of things right now? It seems like you're wading a little bit into maybe worried territory.
I think my brain is starting to do fun exercises, which aren't very fun, but I didn't think they were going to do those sorts of things. J-Rock, great musician, says, what if McDavid truly wants to be a Maple Leaf? I believe your name is supposed to be Golden Muzzy, right?
Yeah.
Is that what Nick Alberga?
This is Alberga in the chat? Nice.
Nick Alberga, my dear friend who watches every Oilers game, and whenever they allow a goal, tweets like, man, you got to think Connor McDavid wants to leave this. Buddy, I was going to say he's not leaving, but the last 10 minutes says that maybe at least we're considering that we could get to worried territory.
I'll say this. I think I still think that he stays. I would be really surprised if he did not stay in Edmonton, but I'm also really surprised that he does not have a deal right now.
That's the thing, and that's where I'm like, if he hasn't signed now, what makes me think he's going to sign next week?
Yeah, what's going to happen in like 2 to 3 weeks that like didn't get done over the past few weeks?
And could it really, a popular thought was like, he's going to use this summer to make them get a better goalie. And they didn't get a better goalie.
I mean, what if the possibility, though, is that he still doesn't know where he wants to go? Like, what if he's still deciding? What if there's 3-4 contracts on the table that he's interested in, he likes, but it just hasn't chosen one? But
like where he want, like, do you mean like which...
Like which contract, which structure.
Okay.
Like maybe he and his camp are still undecided what's best for him. But then I feel like he would have said in one of these interviews, like press conferences, like, I'm probably going to stay or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
His comments, like his very like nothing burger comments, I feel like raise some red flags.
It's very like, don't worry about it. But when someone says don't worry about it, it can often mean leave me alone and not there's nothing to worry about.
Right.
I don't know, man. This will be a very interesting season on What Chaos if that man is unsigned. I still think he will, but shit, we thought it would be done July 1st, and then we thought it would be done July 2nd, and now we are September 3rd, the anniversary of the most important moment in NHL history, and Connor McDavid is still unsigned. Sean, you're awfully quiet over there.
All I'm saying is that every fan base should get to Photoshop if he is not signed on day one.
So that's what I'm saying. When you ask,
like anytime he scores a goal, you're going to see a Photoshop of Connor McDavid in a different jersey.
So like that's the thing. I've already thought about who would be the most fun team to sign, and it's the Sharks, but
the Buffalo Sabres. It's very, very.
It would be so great if.
Oh wait, no, I got it.
WWE.
It would be the Sharks, but Greer wouldn't give him a no trade because he would trade him as soon as he could for being more than 21 and a half years old.
That's right.
We all silly like the mayor.